Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Carrie and this is my husband Tyler. If you have been here before, you've seen him a couple times. He is doing a video with me today.
What's there to say? There's nothing but space in between.
I normally talk about faith, family, and kids in my videos, and today we're going to kind of be talking about the family category and going over where we think we're going to be in the next 10 years. I thought this would be a fun little sit-down video idea. Thank you for always supporting me in my business and doing these videos with me just because I asked you to. So nice.
Yeah, do what I can.
So nice. Anyways, so I'll start just because I have three ideas, actually three different scenarios. The first one is a little dark, I will say. That's why I'm starting with it. But like, it's just like how my read goes. I think it's possible that in the next 10 years we could be this country could be a communist country. In the darkest sense, like if I was gonna go to like the darkest like end of the spectrum, I think that we could be living in a communist country here in the United States. I think we could be bunkered down and just like scared for our lives. Okay, that's the darkest scenario. Okay, the next scenario is unlikely but not impossible. Okay, I think in the next 10 years we could be not living in Tennessee. I think it's possible, or I should say this, maybe not in Tennessee, but maybe not in this area. We have land that's like literally half a mile away, something like that, from where we're at right now, that we want to build on. But I think it's possible that if your YouTube channel, which I'll put it right here, Titans Time Podcast, if you're a Tennessee Titans fan, okay? Yeah, go Titans, tighten up. Anyways, I think that if for some reason your channel were to blow up and they were to ask you to like go on staff for the Tennessee Titans, I mean, we probably wouldn't be living here. We're not going to do like a hour and a half, 2 hour commute. It'd probably be closer to 2 hours. So, I think in that case what we would do is we would move up to Nashville or wherever like the job would be at for, I think you're going to get some job higher up that's connected to your podcast. And what our plan would be is to always come back here and build, but wait until we have enough money to feel comfortable doing that. And then just like invest in real estate until, you know, as our way of income. If that makes sense. So that's the second scenario. Third scenario, we're still living here in Lawrenceburg. Don't know if we'll be in this house for a whole 10 years. You know, I think that would be awesome. Because the rent's really nice. But there's no, like, security in being here. And also you wouldn't be building up any kind of equity in anything but the land. So, I mean, I'd like to, in like the best case scenario, I would like to buy this house from the owner, which, to put it in perspective, this house is like smacked up in the middle of a bunch of land he owns around here, and this used to be like his mom's house, so I don't see him like giving
his mother-in-law's house.
Oh, his mother-in-law's house. Well, I don't see him giving this house up very easily, so the only way that I could see that happening is if we were like, hey, can we buy it and then sell it back to you in 10 years and like write up some kind of contract. But I mean, the third scenario I think would be we're about to build on our property in 10 years and we're still living in the area and we've got a bunch of kids running around. I mean, best case scenario. So yeah, I feel like there's kids involved in every scenario that I put out there, but I like personally, if I'm gonna be like dreaming here, thinking of it in like the best case scenario possible as having a bunch of kids. And that includes fostering and adopting. Even though it would be convenient to foster and adopt after we build the house, since we're specifically building it big enough to do that kind of thing, I feel like it's possible our hearts may be broken for something like that sooner than 10 years from now. Your turn.
Alright, so I don't know if all of y'all know this, but she has a very much of a planning brain. So
yeah, we talked about it a little bit.
I have not put that much thought into like 3 different scenarios, 4 different scenarios. By the time we get done with this video, she's probably gonna have like 10 more scenarios that she could tell y'all. But I mean, she threw this idea out at me yesterday, and honestly, until she asked me like 20 minutes ago, I haven't thought about it again. I mean, just, you know, my mind's elsewhere on things. Like, yes, I do think about the future and where I would like for us to get to, but I don't come up with 3 different scenarios because I
don't expect you to, honey.
I know where my brain takes us. 10 years from now, the land that we own, we're going to be building a house on it. It's going to be our dream house. Hopefully, she mentioned my YouTube, and it's also just a regular podcast that I do with my brother. I mean, I'm hoping that it takes off in the next 10 years, and that me and him are, since we are, you know, 50-50, we started this together, you know, hopefully we've built it up enough where, you know, we can both support our families off of that. And, you know, even if we're not just supporting our families off of that, we've talked about, you know, starting some more podcasts and, you know, YouTubes just to expand, because right now we do, you know, solely focus on the Titans. But I mean, yeah, that's pretty much where I see us in 10 years. Hopefully that takes off. We're building that house here in Lawrenceburg.
Is the ranch idea going to come after that?
Yeah, the ranch idea would be probably after we get that house built. You know, that's something else that me and my brother have talked about getting into, is ranching together. You know, having cows, having horses.
I love cows.
You know, goats, maybe, you know, just several different things. And I told, you know, I've been honest with him and told him straight up, like, hey, I'm not gonna do that until after we build our dream house, and then I'll get into it with you. But yeah, you know, hopefully that's taken off and we can be at that point, because, you know, that's where my drive is taking us. And as she mentioned in like her second scenario, you know, how she could see us living up towards Nashville, something like that. For me, even if, you know, or even if Titans time were to take off and the Titans were to offer us some kind of position up there, which, you know, best case scenario, we would just be, or coming from, you know, a YouTube channel talking about the Titans, you know, we might be reporters for them or something like that, where we can have our foot in the door, interview players, interview coaches, things like that. But I would be willing to drive the 2 hours, especially if me and my brother are both going up there. You know, we could kind of split it up, just because I prefer living in the small town, you know, the small town living. I mean, I just prefer that.
Yeah. And
living out here in the country, and it's always been a dream of mine to live on my own land. And I mean, all my family's right here around us. Like she said, I don't know if we'll still be in this house 10 years from now when we're starting to build on our dream house or not, but, you know, if either way, I just don't see us leaving this area. And obviously, you know, hoping that we have several kids of our own and that we can foster and adopt, you know, just whatever, you know, God has in store for us. That's mainly what, you know, where we're going to be at in the next 10 years. I mean, if his plan is for us not to be able to build that house in 10 years, then we're not going to. But I'm going to, do everything I can as far as what I can control to get us to that point, and go from there. And hopefully, I know she enjoys doing all these videos for y'all, showing y'all different tricks that may help in raising kids, helping homeschool kids if you're wanting to do that. And yeah, hopefully she'll gain more of a following and be able to help more people out, because I know that that's one thing that she loves to do. From day one, I knew her love for working with kids and helping others, and I know that's what she tries to do with this channel. So hopefully, her channel has grew even more and she can be helping more people.
Honestly, like, this whole Vlogmas situation has just been a blast. I've loved doing it, and if you have been one of the very few people that have actually been watching it all the way through, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Like, you matter. It doesn't matter, like, if I have 5 people watching, I'm excited about that. And I think at the heart of it, like, I've always been interested in photography. I bought a camera a long time ago, actually. I saved up a bunch of money, and I met somebody through Facebook Marketplace, and I bought a camera like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. Like, it was a while ago when I first moved up here to Tennessee. And I've always loved photography, and so videography was just that next step. Once I started editing, I actually really enjoy the editing. The editing has to be my favorite part of it, and I want to get better. I want to do better. I'm constantly like trying to learn and learn more things to edit better, to make it more enjoyable for you guys to watch. But also, I'm thinking like of our future kids and our future family, and even just our future selves, like being able to look back on these memories that we're capturing and basically like putting out there for the world to see, but also it's a way for us to like store our memories, if that makes sense, and like be able to look back, 5 years down the road and look at ourselves, or even 10 years down the road, we look at this video and we're probably laughing at ourselves, like, if YouTube was still a thing in 10 years, just looking back and just laughing at what we thought we would be. And I'm excited because anytime I think about the future, I know that God's hand is in it, and I know that his plan is always going to be better than my plan. His ways are higher than our ways, and his thoughts are thoughts. So that being said, we can plan and dream all we want, but when it comes down to it, God's plan could look very different from even our best case scenario, worst case scenario, whatever you want to say. So all that to say, this is the last day of Vlogmas, and I have just loved doing it, and I will probably do it again next year, but I am not gonna lie, and it is giving me a little bit of burnout. So I am gonna go back to my Saturday videos, and I am gonna try to stick more to my niche of homeschooling and videos that kind of are surrounded around that. However, once a month I would love to do some kind of Q&A. If you want to go ahead and follow me over on Instagram, I'll leave my name tag here, and then I'll also put a link in the description box below so you can follow me there. That's why I'll be doing the poll with the questions. And if we don't do a Q&A, like if there's not enough questions to do a Q&A, then once a month I do want to sit down with him and like talk about a topic, whether it's faith related, kids related, life update. And if we don't do a sit down video, we'll do a vlog. So I just want to keep it more like once a month, do something sporadic, something different, do another vlog, do another sit down video, but for the most part keeping it to my niche. That way the audience that I attract is actually an audience I want to reach, if that makes sense. I don't want to kind of be all over the place and then never actually reach the people that could benefit from the information or the learning or the education that I've had. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next video.
But we turn into a flower that never grows. I was hiding like the moonlight that never shows. I should've told you that I love